16.4 and 16.5. What are the advantages and disadvantages of producing electricity from the water cycle and from wind? Water cycle, electricity. It's called hydropower, right? Hydroelectricity, right? That's good because hydro means water. This is an indirect form of solar energy because it's based on evaporation, right? Because sun evaporates water, which then puts into the sky and then causes it to rain down eventually when there's too much in the sky, and then that lands and flows down, makes rivers, streams, etc. Boom, water cycle. So usually we put a dam across a river. This is how we usually do it, right? It's the typical form of generating hydroelectricity. We've already discussed dams. You guys have had an FRQ on dams, right? We know the advantages and disadvantages. They fill up with soil and silt behind the dam after about 50 years. They produce lots of methane when the vegetation that's backed up behind the dam decomposes deep in the lake and reservoir behind it, and an oxygen-free zone, anaerobic decomposition produces the methane. So the water flows through the pipes. As it's flowing through these pipes, it's spinning, it's hitting, and forcing a turbine to spin, which generates the electricity. So that's not the only type of hydroelectricity we can produce. Huh? That's a nice little picture that popped up, isn't it? Okay, I think I'm thinking about some come up soon. So, top 5 world producers of hydroelectricity. Canada. Oh yeah, look at that flag. China. Brazil. The United States of America. And Russia. Why is theirs the only one that's flapping? That seems weird, especially under current conditions right now, you know? Okay, tide and wave energy, right? Okay, another type of hydroelectricity. So, Verdant Power is a company, and what it does is it produces basically windmills for the ocean, okay? So we've got tides that go in and out every single day. And even though the movement of water is slow compared to a flowing river, you're still talking about the movement of ginormous quantities of water back and forth over a given point. So these companies specialize in developing turbines that can harness that movement of water. Okay. So New York City is putting underwater turbines in there. So to tap into the tidal flow. Slow but powerful, right? I just said that. 2012, they were granted a license for 30 plus turbines. They hope to be fully operational by 2015, the end of 2015, not right now, supplying power for 9,500 residents. That's pretty impressive. We are also experimenting with that off the coast of Florida. We're not trying to tap into the tidal energy, but we're trying to tap into currents. Now, what current do we have that comes around the southern tip and then goes out into the Atlantic? What is it? Good. The Gulf Stream, right? The Gulf current comes right up around there, and that's a very strong current. If we could tap into that with these underwater turbines, we would be able to produce enough, so I've read, enough energy if we get enough turbines out there to supply all of Florida with their electrical needs. Ah, there's a wave. Beautiful. All right, pause it right here, take a peek at these advantages and disadvantages. All right, wind. Another form of indirect solar power, right? Because uneven heating of the Earth's surface is what causes wind, along with the rotation of the Earth around its axis. It's the second fastest growing source of energy. Good. Look at that. Those are windmills. If you did not know. We are so what are the top producing states? The top 2, Texas and California. Nice. However, those aren't the 2 states that have the most wind energy available. So let's take a look. Saudi Arabia of wind power states, right? Meaning they have a plethora of. It's North Dakota, South Dakota, Kansas, Texas. These states alone could produce 3 times all. Could produce 3 times all of the U.S.'s current electrical needs. Isn't that amazing? It's truly remarkable. Wind power continued. Capturing 1/5 of the world's wind energy could generate 7 times the amount of electricity currently produced. What? That's preposterous. That's amazing. Power grids, of course, like I said before, infrastructure is kind of lackadaisical and old, so it needs to be upgraded. So wind power brings up these two things, two different perspectives. One is called NIMBY and one is called PIMBY. Not in my backyard, or put it in my backyard. So NIMBY, in relation to turbines, wind turbines, some people find them not pleasant to look at, and they don't like the sound that the blades make as they're spinning and turning, and they don't want them anywhere near them where they can see them. So they say, don't bring these turbines, wind turbines, to our area and put them up, and then have us drive by these ugly-looking things and see them. Other people say, well, you know what? I've got all of this land, and I'm a rancher, and the cattle come out here and graze. Now, you can lease this land from me, put these turbines up, and it does not interfere with my ability to graze my cattle, right? So I can still use my land to graze cattle, then earn a profit for leasing it to a power company to have these turbines on my land. That's great. That's extra revenue for me, and I'm helping to produce a green form of energy. So they say, put in my backyard, please. Yeah, right? Okay. Advantages, disadvantages, pause it, take a look. You can find it on page 421 if you want a closer look at it. Huh? Beautiful. Oh yeah, that was the other thing I wanted to say really quick. So these are known to kind of get in the way of migratory birds, right? So apparently the downside of them is that they kill roughly 40,000 migratory birds per year who fly into their blades. And they don't know why they fly into the blades, if it just messes up their magnetic GPS system that they have in their heads, and I don't know, we're not sure yet. So a lot of people say that's atrocious, and I agree, 40,000 birds, that's very significant. But do you know how many birds die every single year in the United States by flying into windows, power lines, buildings? 1 billion, with a B. 1 billion birds die a year from flying into windows and power lines and buildings in the United States of America every single year. That's crazy. All right, that's the end of this section.